Welcome, Maotrons. So today's video, I'm actually recreating this Oogie Boogie look that I did years and years and years ago. Hopefully I can do it better this time. I think that I have a better idea of it, but other than that, let's just get started with this. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is actually glue down my eyebrows with the Elmer's glue stick. I know that I've done this about a million times and we're just doing it again because he ain't got no eyebrows. Or we just don't want eyebrows. And then I'm going to be doing the mouth and just kind of sketching it out. Now, I'm not copying Oogie Boogie exactly because I can never look exactly like Oogie Boogie without like prosthetics or a costume. But so I'm going to do that and sketch out the mouth. And then I'm also going to be sketching out the like worm I have coming out of his mouth and also the eye shape. Once that looks good, I'm taking this light green color from Maotrons. It's literally in the color light green. But I'm going to be putting that all over the face, avoiding the eyes, the mouth, and where that little worm's going to be sticking out. I use the screen for everything, so if there's a green color I recommend you getting in body paint, it's this one. It's really good. It just works. It works. Well, at least it works for me. I also think it's a really pretty color, honestly, like just by itself. It kind of matches Bo back there. Do you see Bo, like the little skeleton? Yeah. I kind of look like I'm trying to be him. I should just like do him one day. Do him? Paint myself as him. Next, I'm taking this light purple color from Maotrons and just kind of smudging it around the mouth. Now, in the first original one I did, it was a very like watercolor-esque look, so I'm kind of trying to keep that vibe going. Plus, I think this purple complements the green quite nicely, if I do say so myself. And I'm not keeping the mouth even and symmetrical. I'm making it kind of wobbly and weird. I'm not worried about being perfect because it is Oogie Boogie. He's just a very evil sack. And then I'm actually putting some of that purple around the eyes, kind of making it look like he has an angry eye, as well as just kind of like giving the eye that watercolor texture as well. I'm also going to be going down the nose, almost like I'm contouring my nose. He doesn't have a nose that I remember. I can't actually remember if he has a nose or not, but I didn't want to try and hide my nose, so I just kind of made it part of the look. And as you can see, I'm dabbing it with my finger here and there just to kind of spread out the color and make it look more watercolor-esque. Next, I'm going to be going in with a few dark green eyeshadows. It could be any dark green eyeshadows, and I'm going to be going around the eye section there and kind of just going around the whole perimeter of my face. I'm not really giving myself like a contour around the cheek. It's more like going from the temple into the eye and kind of giving my face a different shape and more dimension. I'm also putting it on the bottom of my nose, and I'm also going to be dragging it underneath my chin there. Again, it's just give it more dimension. I'm not worrying about my ears either. I'm going to be putting on a purple wig and it'll cover them. Then I'm going in with a light purple eyeshadow and dabbing it on top of that purple just to kind of bring it out more, make it more vibrant towards the base of the color, and then letting it kind of fade out like that watercolor towards the edges, if that makes any sense at all. Then I'm getting a black eyeshadow. You don't have to start with this. This is just because I was trying to map out the kind of design I was really going for. I wanted to have like a pulled fabric look. Not really fabric, he is fabric, but I just kind of wanted to give him a like pulled look, and as well as like mapping out where the angry eyebrows are and stuff. But I will be going with black body paint later, so this is not necessary. I just wasn't quite sure what I was doing, and it's always good to start out like this because you can paint over eyeshadow easier than you can paint over black body paint. So I'm also dragging it underneath that eye section and kind of buffering it out because it's kind of like adding more shadow to the bottom of the eye. This is where I go in with the black body paint. I'm just filling in the big chunks with a bigger brush and just kind of filling in the mouth and the eyes. I'm being careful to avoid the worm as well. And if your eyes do crease in any way, just be sure to pat a black eyeshadow on top of it, and then it won't crease as much. Now I'm going into a detailed brush and adding those little lines here and there and kind of darkening up the sections that I did with eyeshadow that I did like. As well as just adding more fine detailed lines with that fine detailed brush. I guess that makes sense. And of course using that fine detailed brush up on the eyes too to kind of shape them in a better way that I like better. A better way that I like better. Perfect. Obviously, I did not think this voiceover through before I started talking. Right. Next I'm going back into that lavender purple, light purple body paint and just kind of adding some on the very ends. This is again just to pop the color out a bit more. I just want to make sure it stood out. I wanted you to really see there was purple and green in this look because as you can see, as you layer it, it just pops more. Next I'm going into a light pink body paint from Maotrons and filling in the worm, and this is a really pretty color against these as well. Like the colors are just going together, or maybe I just really like these colors, I don't know. Once that looks good, I'm actually just taking straight black, which normally I don't do, but for this look I did, to shadow underneath the worm so it looks like it's sticking up out of the mouth itself. Once that looks good, I'm actually taking a dark pink eyeshadow and starting to shadow from the bottom of the worm up so it looks like it's coming out of the mouth, as well as shadowing on the bottom side of the worm or the stomach of the worm to kind of make it look like the mouth is casting a shadow, and then the top I'm actually getting with a light pink eyeshadow so it looks like there's light hitting it as it's coming out. You know, shadow, light, that fun stuff. And then I actually deepened up the shadows a little bit with straight black as well and kind of just blended it on top of that pink but not pulling it as far so you can still see the pink. Then I added some orange body paint stripes, Then I added some orange stripes onto the worm, but you can't really see them because my camera went blurry, yay, but there's orange stripes on it. Next I'm taking that white eyeliner and sketching out the rips I'm going to have going down the neck to the shoulders, and then I'm taking that same green and filling in the body, but I stopped halfway through because I realized, hey, I want to add some more worms and a little spider maybe, so I put a spider on the side that I didn't paint yet because it wasn't painted yet, so it makes sense. And then I actually mapped out where I wanted the worms, but I had to take a makeup wipe on the one side that I already painted and remove the paint. This is the beauty of makeup. It is removable if you do not like what you did. And then of course filling in the rest of my body with the green that I didn't do yet. Once that looks good, I'm taking that purple and going around the broken fabric parts, so it's kind of like how the mouth will look, or it does look, I should say. Just doing the same steps, different place, you know how it goes. I do also add the purple eyeshadow on top of that as well, but I don't think I showed it for some reason, I don't know why. Once that's done, I'm taking the same mix of green eyeshadows and I'm pulling it down my neck, as well as kind of contouring my collarbones where you could see it, and the center of my neck. I'm also putting the colors around those not painted yet bugs so that I don't have to worry as much about shadowing later. I will still add shadows, but it's just kind of like to start the shadowing process. Then I actually decided to splatter purple paint all over my face and body, so you can see me doing that here. I don't know why it didn't show me doing it to my face, but it did, so I just did that as extra texture. It's also just really fun to splatter paint. I mean, come on. Then taking black body paint, I'm going to be filling in the sections of the ripped fabric, except for obviously missing where the worms are, because I don't want to color the worms black. And grabbing the detail brush and adding those same kind of lines that I did for the mouth, only on the body. And I didn't use the black eyeshadow for this because I was more confident in the design that I was going for this time. Then I'm going to paint the worms actually this nice orange color. It's very bright. It's the same orange that I put on the stripes of the one in my mouth, so it kind of goes with the look. And I made one of the little wormies quite fat because we like a thick boy around here. Then I went ahead and started shadowing the worms with other dark orange eyeshadows, like doing the same steps like I did in the mouth. I put a lot of it towards the base of the worm and then pulled it up, as well as getting a lighter orange and highlighting the tops of it. And then obviously getting into a little bit of black to deepen up those shadows so it looks like it is really coming out of the fabric. Or that hole that's in my body. And then taking some black eyeshadow, I'm going to be adding the shadows of the worms onto my body. I actually also mix a little bit of dark green eyeshadow, but I don't know if you can really tell that much to add these shadows, just because there was more of it needed for these ones. And then taking the same pink I used for the worm in my mouth, I put the stripes on those worms, so it's kind of like the reverse of the worm that's in my mouth. And then keeping that same pink that I used in that first worm, I made the spider. I made it a very basic spider. It's very cartoony because obviously Oogie Boogie's very cartoony because he's, you know. Then I went ahead and took some black and shadowed around that spider as well, making the shadows pop just a little bit more. I also used a little bit of that green eyeshadow as well. I wasn't worried about it being perfect, I just wanted to make it look like it was, you know, sitting on top of my skin instead of just being painted on. And then taking the same dark pink and light pink, I went ahead and highlighted and shadowed the spider where I felt like it needed it. And with that, you are done and you got yourself an Oogie Boogie. So this is obviously very weird. I put on a purple wig, but I think it's a lot better than my first one. I could do a more realistic, more trying to be just like Oogie Boogie look, but I kind of like this like Oogie Boogie inspired look more. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I should ever try and do like a more realistic Oogie Boogie, or maybe even like a actual burlap sack Oogie Boogie maybe. But I really like this. If I ever do this again, maybe we'll see if I've improved even more. But let me know what you think, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit my bell notification if you'd like to be notified of when I go live next. When I go live next, man, I do too much Twitch. What I meant to say is when I upload next. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye!